அன்பார்ந்த பெரியோர்களே, தாய்மார்களே, all the eminent dignitaries present in the post-lunch session, which is generally called the graveyard session. Or the death by PowerPoint session, whichever name we can give it to it. Generally the graveyard session or the death by PowerPoint session. I am neither here to bore you nor to give you a PowerPoint presentation, just to share some of my experience with the eminent dignitaries who are present here. We all know you are very high achievers. All of you are proven performers. You all run big businesses, big companies, give employment to many of you are thousands of people. Many of you run a MSME to a handful of people. Many of you here make sure the firewood burns at somebody's home in the evening so that they get food. You are that kind of people. And especially this region, the Kongu region, where the South Zone conclave is happening. This is a very unique region when compared to the rest of India, where naturally formed organic clusters are here. Business people are like phoenix here, like a phoenix bird. Without anybody's support, on their own they have taken off for the last 30-40 years. Tirupur, Coimbatore, Mettupalayam, Erode, and all these places are like that. So you all represent that. Many of you are first generation entrepreneurs. And some of you are still making that shift between farming and businesses. இங்கே நிறைய பேர் இங்கே வந்து விவசாயிகளாகவும் பிஸ்னஸ் பீப்புளாகவும் இருக்கிறீங்க. காலையில் விவசாயம், மத்தியான தொழில், திரும்ப சாயந்தரம் ஆட்டுக்குட்டி, அந்த மாதிரி பார்க்குறவங்களா இருக்கீங்க. இட்ஸ் வெரி யூனிக் நேச்சுரல் கிளஸ்டர். வேறு எங்கேயுமே இந்தியாவில் இந்த மாதிரி இருப்பதற்கான வாய்ப்புகள் இல்லை. விச் வெரி யூனிக். So before I get into the topic that they have given to me, I would like to pay my respects to the National President of Laghu Udyog Bharati, Baldev Bhai Prajapati sir, who is here, and to all the senior leaders who have come from different parts of India. They make sure that Laghu Udyog Bharati is very active, very agile, and it represents the new India which our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji is envisioning. And in the stage with me, we have the National Joint General Secretary and the South Zone Coordinator Mohan Sundaramanna, and the National Vice President Hariharan Ramamurthy Anna, and the Laghu Udyog Bharati State President Vijay Raghavananda. And just before my session, the Honorable Minister Arjun Ram Meghwal ji has finished his session. He has just left for us another official function. And all the eminent dignitaries here, press, ladies and gentlemen. The topic they have given to me is transform and grow. I am definitely not a business person. கண்டிப்பாக நான் உங்களை மாதிரி எந்த ஒரு பிஸ்னஸ் நடத்தலை, 4 பேர்த்துக்கு வேலை கொடுக்கல, சம்பளம் கொடுக்கலீங்க, மாத கடைசியில் எப்படி சம்பளம் போடணும்னு யோசிக்கலை, எப்படி அந்த பிரச்சனையை சரி பண்ணணும் அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி பிரச்சனைகள் என்னுடைய டேபிளில் இல்லைங்க. பட் இருந்தாலும் the path in which I have traveled in the last few years, God was kind. With that in mind, and me being a current politician in Tamil Nadu, so the vision of our government, the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister, I thought I'll give you some pointers. So we all know our Honorable Prime Minister is very ambitious that India should hit the $5 trillion economy very soon. 2025, 2026 is the target. We are at about $3.1 trillion economy. He wants to make it $5 trillion economy. And Piyush Goyal ji, in one of his speeches in Coimbatore a couple of months back, he said, the first target is to hit 5 trillion by 2025, 2026. The second target is to hit 8 trillion by 2030. Then we should keep climbing up the stairs. Possibly when we hit about $8-9 trillion by 2030-32, we would become the 3rd largest economy in the world. This is the roadmap that he has laid out for all the entrepreneurs whom Piyush Goyal ji met recently in Coimbatore. He said this is the path. Now to hit $5 trillion economy, which is the near target, the Honorable Prime Minister and the government is very clear. MSMEs have to play a very crucial, in fact they have to play a very large role in making sure that happens. When we look at the data of companies with a turnover of less than 5 crore, with an investment in asset of less than 1 crore, employment of less than 10 people in a single unit, India has got 6.31 crore MSME, which is 99% of the overall MSME. 5 crore less turnover, 1 crore investment in assets, less than 10 people employed in a particular organization, 6.31 crore, which is 99% of the overall MSME. If you look at the manufacturing output of MSME with respect to the overall manufacturing output, somewhere we are at 36%. The MSME export, with respect to the overall India's export, we are somewhere at about 43%. In the data which clearly shows that Indian economy is firing. Maybe we have finished the warm-up stage, and in the airplane, the engines have started, and we are in a big takeoff mode. 6.31 crore concern. Of this number, 36% of overall manufacturing output MSME is contributing. So $5 trillion economy where PM wants MSME to be a big player there. I think it's perfectly achievable without any doubt. But since the topic is transform and grow, many of the small businesses, we all know, they continue to remain as small businesses. Recently, when I had the opportunity to visit United States, I told one of my hosts there, I want to see one company in Seattle. I'm a big fan of that company. You should take me there. He asked me, where should I take you? I told him he should take me to a place called Pike Street in Seattle. And I want to go there and get into a coffee company called Starbucks there. And the host also took me in his car. We both went. After going there, he asked me, what is special about it? I told him, sir, the special about it is, this is the first Starbucks coffee outlet in the world. Started in 1971. And that building is intact, that company is still intact, the unit is still intact. Now Starbucks is present in 86 countries with an employee of 150,000 plus. We all know the turnover is in $1 billion. We all know what they do. It is always better to go to the place where it started. That gives us inspiration. This is where it all started, maybe 40, 50 years back. Howard Schultz came here. He purchased this company from some other guy. This is where his dream spread out. And in that Starbucks outlet also, there is a wall where Howard Schultz have signed. He said, this is where my dreams began. So likewise, we are sure a lot of people are sitting here, probably in your initial stages. You're looking at transformation, looking at growth, and probably 30, 40 years from now, it will be a big success story, $1 billion enterprise. Probably you'd be employing lakhs of people. Big success story people are sitting here. And MSME per se, my vision as a citizen of the state, as a citizen of this country, not only you should be a partner of this $5 trillion economy, but more importantly, you should transform and grow into something else. Even now, when we talk about the best MSME kind of scenario in the world, people give a lot of respect to the German MSMEs. They call that as Mittelstand. And I tried Googling what is Mittelstand. In India, MSME we can classify. Below 5 crore, below 10 crore, below 15 crore. This is the number. You are micro, you are small, you are medium. MSME we can classify. But there is no classification for a Mittelstand. The German concept of MSME, there is no classification in terms of number. Colloquially, they say a Mittelstand has got the following quality. It is a first generation business, a family oriented entrepreneurial business, and more important quality for a Mittelstand is the employer has got a mutual understanding to kickstart this business to a different growth orbit. Fourth, fiercely independent. Fifth, fiercely nationalistic. These are the qualities that makes a Mittelstand. So Mittelstand, German has got many big companies which call themselves as a Mittelstand. For example, Robert Bosch. It doesn't call itself as a corporate company. Robert Bosch, even today, it calls itself as a Mittelstand company. Because the 5 qualities it projects, the German way, the family way, it projects the employee and employer having a good bonding between themselves so that they wholeheartedly work with each other. There's no friction between the employee, friction between the management, friction for a pay dispute, friction for a pay rise. Now, colloquially, we say, okay, Mittelstand is like this. 50 million euro is their turnover, less than 500 employee. All these companies have got a Mittelstand character. Somehow I believe in the next 5-10 years down the line, the MSME's word would give a way to some other brand name. I'm very sure about it. Right now we are calling as MSME, which is a combination of some English words, which is a combination of some economical terms. Micro is this, medium is this, small is this. But I'm very sure in 5-10 years down the line, when some college kids comes out of an engineering college, for him the first passion is to start a company. In Coimbatore, in Tirupur, since we are here, the first passion is to start a company, to be an employer, not to be employed in some distant company. He wants to chase that dollars or something in Bangalore or Hyderabad or different parts of India, but homegrown homegrown enterprise, linked to the soil, linked to the area, linked to the modes and facilities of production. From there, create something that reflects value in where that company is located. Mittelstand does it. So my hope and prayer for the next level of transformation, maybe the first point I wanted to convey is, we should become very fiercely nationalistic. Very fiercely nationalistic. Yes, exports we are doing, 43% of India's export MSME is doing, fantastic. But that is why Modi ji has slowly brought this Make in India. To get that product inside, to get that brand inside, so that we show this is the Indian way and the Indian brand. I think this is very important in our transformational journey, because the price tag of made in India, everybody is looking at it now. So this needs a lot of rethinking of how we do a business. Starbucks, again, if I go back to it, what interested me to a company like Starbucks is, that company is the only company in the world right now where a college-going kid wants to work as a barista for 3 years. He wants to go back to a college. Starbucks takes care of your education. That is the only company. You can study, again come back, or maybe you can go out and do something. Or every single coffee they source is ethically sourced, branded. Ethiopia, it is not a blood coffee, civil war or strife or some fight. They go there, they do a market arbitrage pricing. They go and do an arbitrage thing and get a coffee at a lesser rate. It is all ethically 100% sourced from Kenya, Ethiopia and different parts of the world. So they maintain a certain quality to show this is the Starbucks way. And proudly American, proudly localized. Wherever they go, they want to do it. So my vision for the first level of transformation is, our MSMEs have to be proudly Indian. It has to be proudly Indian, and it has to be proudly global. இதை அடையணுங்கிறது என்னுடைய கருத்துங்க. ஏன்னா ஆத்மநிர்பார் பாரத்தினுடைய மிக முக்கியமான நோக்கங்க. தமிழ் இங்கிலீஷ் கலந்து பேசுங்க. ஆத்மநிர்பார் பாரத்தினுடைய மிக முக்கியமான நோக்கம், to make it proudly Indian, so that our product goes everywhere, people buy it, people take a lot of value from it. I was told from morning, a lot of wonderful speakers have come, amazing people. Somebody who has created the Vande Bharat for us, Grove Fugal chairman, Vembuji is here, who creates a company that is ethically great, maintains it small, maintains it agile, competes with some of the best global brands in the world. You got some of the eminent speakers who are sitting here. But all those people, when we look at the character, even Vande Bharat train, we are very proud about what he has achieved. But very importantly, it is all indigenized, 100% except the train's wheel, which has got a peculiar alloy property which is coming from Ukraine and Russia, I was told. Otherwise, every single thing is 100% indigenized. And people are looking at Vande Bharat. We are looking at time efficiency, the speed, the safety features, all inbuilt to it. Though Vande Bharat is a brand, but more uniquely what it stands above Vande Bharat is proudly Indian, made for India, made by India, where our Indian people are traveling. So this is the shift I think our Honorable Prime Minister is expecting without a doubt. And that is why when the COVID happened, 2018, 19, 2019, 2021, was a very tough year for a lot of you. The Emergency Credit Line Guarantee Scheme, ECLGS, if you look at the number of MSMEs that have got benefited in ECLGS, the data shows it is 1.36 crore MSMEs. They have availed collateral-free loans amounting to $2.32 trillion. The country as a whole, it has chosen to invest that money into an MSME at a tough time when we wanted ventilators, when we wanted oxygen cylinders, when we wanted extra bed, when we wanted to create that additional supply something. But still the country, we as a nation, is decided to put that 2.32 trillion rupee into an MSME so that when this company is struggling and you handle them next 5-10 years down the line, they all grow into big business. It's a country's choice. It is not that country should have given, not necessarily because somebody is dying. Somebody is dying in COVID. Somebody is dying without a hospital bed. Somebody is dying without an oxygen. Somebody wants this, somebody wants that. The government has chosen, the money will go there for saving. At the same time, the money will get into the business community because you also need, that point of time, this much money without collateral so that you bounce back from the COVID effect. That we have to really appreciate what our Honorable Prime Minister has done. More interestingly, if you look at the overall NPA of our country, it stands at 5.9%. If you take a big banking company, the loans they have given outstanding, the NPA pending is 5.9. But the beauty of it is, The Mudra loans, which our Honorable Prime Minister has been emphasizing again and again, and Tamil Nadu stands as #1 in terms of availing the Mudra loan. The NPA of a Mudra loan is 3.17%. Just look at the difference. The big corporate companies, the NPA is at 5.9, Mudras are at 3.17, which clearly shows small companies more bonded, more like a family culture. There is no great difference between the owner and the laborer and the employee who is there. They treat everybody as a family. They are together so that everybody work for a common cause. There is a clearly 2.7 percentage point difference, which is lesser than the total NPA of the country, which is an amazing statistic. Maybe the second vision I would have for transformation and growth is, can we build a company which is ethically ramrod correct? We all know in India it's very tough to do a business, sir. That as a politician, we keep seeing what is happening. The cost of doing business in a state like Tamil Nadu is very high. There is no single window clearance. And you go and meet somebody, they'll say, square feet yellow kudupa. Then they'll go and say, you go meet this guy, you go that guy, you meet somebody in secretariat. By the time you turn around, you run around and come. 50% of your energy goes into controlling some bureaucrat, controlling some politician, controlling some politician's PA to get that license. We all understand. It is not, Tamil Nadu is no more a state that is very progressive for industrialists. It's a matter of fact, open truth. Because if you look at the numbers per se, the number of startups that got registered in India 2021, 2022, Uttar Pradesh has overtaken Tamil Nadu. Uttar Pradesh is a #2 position, where the number of startups that is registered is more than Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu is at #3. In the last 3 years, Tamil Nadu has shifted 1 position down. The number of direct tax contribution per capita, again, if you look at it, Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka are doing much better than Tamil Nadu. There is this famous Tamil Nadu story, the 1980 story, 1990 story. That was a very famous Tamil Nadu story where business people were thriving, the economy was firing, it was growing at 10-11% time. It is no more the case. The state is struggling to attract big investments. Investments are going to Telangana, Gujarat, Bangalore and different places. The state is struggling to attract big investments. The only reason is, if I can be very blunt standing in the stage, it's a concept of corruption, where without doing this much money in paper, in kind, cut money is at 20, cut money is at 25%, sometimes the cut money is at 30%. It is killing new companies which want to start. The new companies get skilled. When you put 30% of your capital into sorting out licenses, sorting out bureaucrats, sorting out ministers, it is gone. Maybe the second challenge for you is, in this environment, how are you going to be ethically correct? How are you not going to take that shortcut so that you can grow the company? Maybe you can manage the political and the business environment. Maybe you can still run that company. So it is a big challenge for you because the youngsters are coming. I met many people during the lunch time. I said, "Enna padikren, anna PhD la padikren, CIT la padikren, GCT la padikren, appa business pandranga. I'm already attached to him. I'm doing an intern. I'm seeing and everything." Now the challenge for those boys is no more moral science lessons in our schools. Alla mudichu pochunga. Enga appa kaalathiliye they have done and dusted with the moral science classes. Maybe my time we had that class 6, class 7, one session we had. These kids don't have moral science lessons also. These kids, the only moral science lesson they have is seeing their father and mother, society, to see how they are performing and learning from them. Now the challenge for these kids and many of you is, in an environment like Tamil Nadu, when you know fully well the market potential is so great, but there is some kind of a political problem, political pressure. Without cut money, nothing happens. How do you still maintain that integrity, still maintain that ramrod honesty? Because I believe great companies cannot take shortcut. Great companies, if they are supposed to be great, shortcuts can take us from 50 crore to 100 crore. Shortcuts can never take us from 100 crore to 500 crore. Like Satyam, one fine day all of us will collapse. It's like one fine day. I still remember Ramalinga Rajuji, in his letter he wrote, the public letter, he said, being the CEO of Satyam is like riding on a tiger. Neither could I slow down the tiger, nor I could get down off the tiger. He said, I'm just riding the tiger and I have an option. I was just going with the flow, cooking the books of account and making sure the company was going. And that's a $1 billion company when it collapsed at that point of time. So many of us might get into this problem at one stage or the other. You are ethically right because you are a small enterprise. The moment you become a medium enterprise or a large enterprise, maybe 5 years down the line, if you don't have a set of integral values within the company, the transformation and the growth, I particularly feel, is impossible. Sometimes it is better always to take the less walked path. Even the path is full of thorns, full of stones, full of nails, but at least it's a very honest path. It's a matter of time before the environment gets cleansed up. So now I don't want the youngsters who are here or maybe seeing their father to see how much struggle their fathers go through just because they have to pay some money somewhere to make it happen. The third challenge I believe the MSMEs have, if you look at the Flipkart data, it's a challenge and an opportunity. In 2018-19, the number of small medium enterprise onboarded in Flipkart was 30 lakh, 3 million. 2018-19. 1 year later, 2019-20, it jumped to 73 lakh, which is an increase of 125%. 1 year later, 2020-2021, it jumped to 1 crore. Now, Flipkart has got close to 1.4 crore MSME onboarded. Now, the challenge is digitization. We have started the company at some sort of time. Now, digitization is ruling the roost. We got to get adapted to the new technology, the ERP solutions, whatever we are trying to do. Now, are our employees adequately trained in a new business environment, operating there, hitting that $5 trillion target or hitting that $8 trillion target? What are we trying to do? I think the third challenge for us is to be enabling technology, being technologically agile, maybe going one step ahead of the curve so that we are fully oriented into the digital economy. We all had a very happy news. When the government of India, especially our Honorable Prime Minister, post the demonetization, he brought the digital economy mode. I remember some of the politicians from Tamil Nadu, including a former finance minister, he mentioned in the floor of the House in Parliament, our Prime Minister thinks everybody is intelligent. India is not made up of intelligent people. How can a grandmother use a digitized tool, maybe a Paytm, maybe a Google Pay? How will she lose? They cannot do. This whole thing would be a failure. Now, that is the initial impression people had when Modi ji was giving a lot of push for digitization. April 2022 was a remarkable year for our country because first time the digital transaction in our country, within the country, it crossed 10 lakh crore, first time. After that, every single month, we are about 10 lakh crore. Now in G20, one of the important component our government of India has kept in G20 year is telling the other G20 nations when they come to our country for the whole year, the success of India's digitization strategy. How did we build a wall, a fulcrum, a pakka blueprint so that everybody is linked everywhere, bank account is linked, it is verified by an Aadhaar, the money comes seamlessly from Delhi to somebody's account in a small village in Karur. If it's a farmer, he gets 2,000 in a click of a mouse. These are things we all know. When we go to US, we see it doesn't have our kind of banking facility. We struggle. The checks don't pass overnight. You got to wait for 24 hours. The core banking solution is still not enabled in America. Now the whole world is looking at India. We are one step ahead of everything. So maybe Prime Minister believes this is a strategic competitive advantage for us. Digitization, online transaction, getting companies that is fully within the digitized mode, Prime Minister believes is a strategic competitive advantage. Other nations don't have the kind of strategy we have. So maybe the third challenge, opportunity I would see for transformation and growth is digitization. How do we adapt it fully? Because the government is fast adapting, at least in the gem marketplace, digitization has taken a big hold. That I think would be a challenge. The fourth one I would say, before me I think many speakers would have spoken, the subject experts, is the indigization we are talking of, indigenization. India, generally, our exports were always less than imports. As a nation, we import more, we export less. We are trying to break it. This year, our exports have touched $676 billion, 2021-2022, where goods and services were at $417 billion. Service and merchandise, total combined is 676. Merchandise was at 417. Goods, services were at 250. Software exports and other things. First time we have crossed the $400 billion exports in merchandise. Overall, $617 billion. Now, rapidly the Prime Minister believes we got to do a lot of import substitution. Import this product, you substitute. At last count, Defense Ministry alone has given go ahead for 1,276 product import substitution. 1,276 product in Defense Ministry are classified as classic case for import substitution. All those product, next 5 years they have given a plan. They have created a website for that. We can see how much the government intends to purchase. They are giving us a long rope so that we produce internally within our country. Initially it was called as negative import list. Now we call that as a positive indigenization list. That is a big challenge because it's a big opportunity for you also. Rapidly we got to start producing products in our country which were never produced till today. So who takes that risk? Who is going to build that cat? Who is going to fearlessly put that investment? Who is going to put that capital expenditure into it without even thinking twice? Because somehow you believe in India's growth story. India's growth story is believable because we got a stable politics now. We got a stable prime minister. The whole thing we are talking big numbers, we are talking of 5 trillion, we are talking of 8 trillion, sir, is only because the politics is stable. Only because the government is stable. Only because 2 continuous times the government is in a majority. Only because 2024 we are expecting it will come with much more bigger majority. So this will help all gentlemen who are sitting in this room that we got a very stable country. A stable country can only plan. Now 5 years later we are planning. 1,276 products, Ministry of Defense, you manufacture locally, you substitute it, we are up for it. This is a great opportunity for transformation where you take that extra risk. You put that money. We all manufacture a product that was not yet manufactured till now because this is going to be India's century. That is the belief we all have based on the available metric. IMF generally doesn't give a certificate for a country. When India was supposed to grow at 7.1%, IMF made 2 statements within a single statement. They mentioned India as the only bright global hotspot. This is the statement they made. The follow-up statement IMF made is, this is not possible because of luck. This is possible because of policy intervention over the last many years. We have to see the both statements combined. They said not because of luck. Oh, the country has got 135, 139 crore people. It has got the largest middle class in the world. You manufacture any product, put it in the market. There is a Kupusami or Murali or somebody who will go buy that product and your product will sell. IMF didn't mean it. IMF said it is the only hotspot because it is growing at 7.1% for its base. Second, because of the policy intervention that were crafted over some years, Make in India product, Atmanirbhar Bharat, one district, one product. Now if you look at the one district, one product, again states like Tamil Nadu have lost it out. 16 states after the introduction of one district, one product have tripled their exports. 3 times they have increased their exports. 16 states. Andhra, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Gujarat, Haryana, Himachal, Jharkhand, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Punjab, Rajasthan, Sikkim, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal. 16 states have tripled the exports of products, one district, one product. They have made each district as a particular export hub for one product. But Tamil Nadu has increased it by 2.1 times, not 3 times. This also we are seeing it. On major potential, we are going more local. And each local product, not only that, each railway station is one railway station, one product, one district, one product. So lot of things as a policy level, the government of India, especially our Honorable Prime Minister has brought it. That is why we are seeing this economy in a firing mode. Nothing has happened by chance. Nothing has happened by chance. You all know you are the most hardworking people there. Because of your hard work, combined with the government's effort, combined with the visionary thinking, combined with the larger platform that you are seeing. So the hope and prayer is, if you look at companies like Reliance, every rupee Reliance generates or an Adani generates or a Tata generates, it is not a rupee for that company. It's a strategic asset for the country. When any disturbance happens to all this kind of companies, the nation gets disturbed. That is why some of the nations, they maintain big corporations. 2.5% of GDP, 3% of GDP. Some corporations are 4% of GDP. They take care. So every single penny these companies earn are a national strategic asset. So likewise, every single penny an MSME earns, the MSME earns is the country's productive asset. Only with your 10 rupee, with your 100 rupee, with your 1000 rupee, the leapfrogging can happen. One is a strategic asset. We can weather the global disturbance, we can weather some global tailwinds, some war, 2-3 wars we can weather with the kind of big companies. But without you, the nation's productive asset is lost. So all the crores, more than 6.3 crore MSME situated in different parts of India, employing crores and lakhs of people, you are the India's growth engine. All, maybe from an outside perspective, I would say is, you should attach yourself to India's growth story. You should believe in India's growth story. You should be a big supporter of India's growth story. And you should take risk along with it. You should not play safe. That is my suggestion to you. They say small risk, small aim is a crime. At this point of time, when everything is suiting India, in the next 25 years, when the Honorable Prime Minister called this as Amrita Kalam till 2047, maybe we have US first, we have China second, we have Japan, we have Germany. We have just overtaken England to be the 5th largest economy in the world. We just got 2 more countries to catch up. They are maybe $1 trillion, $2 trillion ahead of us. Once we catch it, we have China and US above. The Prime Minister's ambition for the next 25 years is overtake everybody. Overtake everybody. Overtake everybody. Overtake everybody. 200 years back, we were ruled by East India Company. Now, East India Company is owned by an Indian. We were ruled by British Queen 150 years back. We have overtaken them. Dutch, they came here as trading partners here and there. Now, if you look at Dutch, they are the 19th largest economy in the world. India is 5. We are slowly inching, firing 7%, 8% growth. Very soon we will reach 4. Very soon we will reach 3. So this much potential is there. There is no need to be afraid. A stable government. Gone are the days where every 2 years you will have a prime minister. Every state government is not in a better majority. Anything might collapse. The central government uses 356 at whims and fancy. Every year you will see 2-3 governments collapsing, horse trading happening, some new government coming. Many people say, oh, Modi ji should use 356, Modi ji should use that, Modi ji should use that in Bengal. A lot of people keep commenting, this is happening, that is happening. Modi ji is very silent. Modi ji is very silent because as a common man we all can feel, he is looking at India's growth story as a whole. He wants to do a different kind of politics that is very stable. That is very stable. Not doing politics at a petty level, dismissing governments, pulling government, horse trading government, so that only in a stable environment, people like you will have the risk appetite to take that extra risk. Else you will not take that risk. You will wait for another 2 years, keep your money safe in the bank, make the money to earn that 5% interest or 6% interest, keep quiet. Now these are some of the 2-3 points I thought I should share with you. I'm sure you all know this, you are more intelligent than me, you are on the ground, you run companies, you face risk. You are the person every month at the last few days, you crunch your head to make sure how you get that money to pay a salary, and we are not into that problem. So you make sure it happens. So you have weathered COVID, you are part of India's growth story, and the only hope and prayer is with you in the next 20 years, India will surely achieve the global status which is called Vishwaguru. I would like to end with this. Vishwaguru doesn't mean we are the world's largest power. No. If you look at the America yesterday, for electing a House Speaker, electing a House Speaker in US, yesterday night if you have followed the American politics, the voting round went 16 times. 16 times they voted to find who is the Speaker of the American Senate, represented House of Congress. 16 times they voted. After 1923, this is the first time the speaker election has gone this many rounds. Late midnight, some Republicans were horse traded, and today New York Times, if you are catching up on the internet, you will see how much drama happened. We all see all the major countries are going through that mode. They are no more stable. The Standard & Poor can give a rating of A plus this, they can give it to big company. No. Germany has got a problem. UK has got a problem. Every country. Now India is the only country, with pride we can say, it is going to be the stablest country in the next 20 years. Stablest country. So this will help you. Second, not to be very lethargic about anybody. Generally in the southern part of India, there is this famous theory that South India is growing faster and North India is not growing and everything. Recently I was in UP. I was walking in the Benares Hindu University campus. There was an economics professor with me. I told him, sir, how is UP doing? He told me, Annamalai, Do you know the famous Napoleon Bonaparte's quote? I said, tell me, sir, what is the quote? He said, allow China to sleep. If China wakes up, the world will tremble. So conveniently, we have allowed China to sleep for 300, 400 years. It woken up and last 100, 150 years, whatever trouble China is able to create, it is creating. He said, UP is like that. Uttar Pradesh is like that. It was sleeping till now. We have woken it up. They have got a stable government. They have got a Yogi ji, 5 years, second 5 years. And he asked me, how many airports you have in Tamil Nadu? I said, sir, we have Chennai, we have Coimbatore, we have Madurai, then we have Tuticorin. Maybe the night landing will come very soon. We are struggling with the night landing. It will come. So that it will also power. Salem we had under the Udan scheme. It is not functioning now. I asked him, how many airports you have? He said, we have 11 functioning airports. Just imagine, or just see, next 5-10 years, the competition is going to be whom and whom. He asked me, what is Tamil Nadu's population? I said, we have 8.5 crores, sir. I asked him, what is UP's population? He said, 24 crore. Then he asked me, your 8.5 crore population is our population below the age of 33 in UP. These guys are going to fire. All they need is manufacturing industries to come in, stable law and order, no more this taking this knife and going and threatening a woman and coming back. Moment the police start breaking their hands, law and order will start coming peacefully. Then the investments will go. Then we will not get any more Bihar laborers and UP laborers to Tamil Nadu. This is a point of concern I want to put it before I leave the stage. Because caste arbitrage has driven Tamil Nadu till now to a major level. It is driving for the last 10 years. Caste arbitrage. We say North Indian laborers, a lot of politicians using that, they have made politics, North, South and all those drama they have done. When UP starts firing, we will not get any single North Indian laborer coming to Tamil Nadu to work. Bihar people will go there. Jharkhand will go there. Chhattisgarh will go there. All the states are getting into a classic case of a stable government. They are going to fire. Now, especially in Tamil Nadu, for us it is time to pull up our socks, get into next level of technology, start improving our businesses. No more the caste arbitrage is going to work. No more this North-South is going to work. Because UP, just imagine the young population of UP getting educated, going to schools now, going to a college, maybe the first time in their family, in their history. These guys are going to come out in the next 7-8 years. Just how Tamil Nadu was 30 years back. When all those guys fire, it is Napoleon Bonaparte's quote. We should have allowed UP to sleep. Now UP has woken up. We are going to be in trouble. This is many of the entrepreneurs here. But good thing is, UP will easily add 2 percentage points to India's GDP just like that. Just like that, UP will add. Such a big state. So India is going to grow. All the states are going to kickstart. There is no more a laggard state, a Bimaru state. There is no more Hindu rate of growth state. There is no more poor state. There is no more resourceless state. There is no more intelligent state. This is my humble submission. I wanted to make this in this hall before I leave the stage because all states are going to fire. And we pull up the socks. We get out of this mindset of the politics that happens in Tamil Nadu, North, South, this, that and all those things, and look at India as a whole. Maybe some of you will have the opportunity to go to UP and invest, tap into that market potential, give employment, be a part of the country's growth journey. Maybe somebody from there will come here. Let all good things happen. Thank you so much for your patient listening, sir. It's a great event to come and share my thoughts. Let us all together make India into a wonderful